Hello, listeners, and welcome to Making It Make Sense with Isaiah, Jasper, and Theo. Make sure you go hit that like button, subscribe, and rate us on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. We put out new episodes weekly, so you want to make sure you don't miss a single thing. And while you're there, you can also leave us a comment or two. Or, if you want to reach us more directly, you can DM us on our official Instagram at Making It Make Sense with IJT, or you can also email us at makingitmakesensewithIJT@gmail.com.
Ready?
Ready?
Oh, that was a good.
La
La la la.
la 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 la.
La la la. Yes, get the vocals together.
We're harmonizing.
Yes.
This is third harmony.
Oh my god! Oh, happy day!
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Making It Make Sense with Isaiah, Jasper, and Theo. Tonight we're talking about the vaccine mandate and the drama of it all, and our takes on the progress and the responses from the public.
Oh,
Let's get
God.
into it.
That
Isaiah?
was a good word. It is drama.
Yes, honey, that's drama. A lot of
It's
mess.
very.
We should start with Isaiah because Isaiah is anti-vax. Go, Isaiah.
Wow! I know you're not about to listen. You better put some respect on my name now.
Yes.
You better put some respect on my name because I am fully vaccinated, boo boo.
Come on now.
Okay, so listen. So, but we will. Sure, I will start. I'm gonna just. I'm gonna real quick hot take, which really shouldn't be a hot take, but I'm gonna come in a little hot. My personal feeling in regards to people in healthcare, I feel that, and again, this is just from my headspace. I feel that if you went into the medical space, which means you believe in science, or that's what it would be perceived as, right? That you went into this field or this space because you believe in science, because you enjoy science, or I don't know, maybe because you want a really good retirement plan. But let's whatever.
Yes.
But like, if you went into this space and studied for X amount of years, right? Then it's very puzzling to me why you would decide today that you want to get on Bill Gates' internet and tell people that you don't all of a sudden believe in this. I'm very confused. As our title goes, make it make sense to me, because it's not the math ain't mathin' to me.
But you know what? This is Dr. Theo speaking here.
Yes.
Dr. Theo.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you Dr. Theo?
Yeah, Dr. Theo in the house.
Today.
Today. All right.
We are science literate.
Okay,
We are not the average person. We have been exposed to a certain amount of knowledge.
Mhm.
We have obtained a certain amount of skill. We are and have been in the forefront of this madness. For us to have not been an example for our brothers, our sisters, our husbands, our wives, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, our children, our grandchildren, it is disgusting. It is disrespectful. And yes, you should lose your job. Because after all that death that we saw in 2020,
Yes.
I saw dead bodies in hallways. And for me to sit here and tell you that I'm not taking the vaccine, it is arrogant, it is ignorant, and it is despicable.
Infuriating, even.
It's disgusting, and it is infuriating because when people who don't or not don't have certifications or who are not qualified to speak on the vaccine and qualified to even have a stance on it have the nerve to sit their asses on these platforms and share their theories, share all these conspiracies, to share all this bullshit that put people in danger because people actually a lot of people actually follow the bullshit, and it's dangerous because they're not doctors, they're not medical professionals. So this is a because people are not taking the vaccine because they're listening to these people who are not doctors, who are not certified, who are not a medical professional. They're following their guidelines and they're putting their own life at risk, not just their lives, our lives, because we have to be around these people and interact with these people in a social setting when we're out and about. And it's selfish, it's ignorant, it's stupid, it's disrespectful to the medical professionals because they're doctors. They went to school to study this stuff. So for people to ignore them, challenge them, question them, argue with them, dismiss them is so disrespectful on so many levels.
No, but Jasper, you're incorrect. These people are certified. These people are certified in
Oh
Google.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
certified in
Not
Oh
at
Google.
yeah,
Google.
They're certified in
and
Wikipedia
YouTube.
and
Oh
YouTube.
yeah,
And,
YouTube is
and, and
YouTube is an
all these
incredibly
Billies
credible
and
source.
Janes and Tyrones and Raquels out there
And
who want to tell
Shaquitas and
you,
all that.
I read off the internet or I saw or it's so insulting. And like this will be the moment in the soap opera when they say that I'll smack them.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you've got the nerve to talk to me about something that you Google in the dark web or that you read from your uncle's attic in a book
And
about some
say your dark web one more goddamn time when it comes
conspiracy
to
theory.
this.
These people
For
have
real.
a PhD in the dark web, finding videos and finding things, and not even reading the totality of some articles. Like
Or
today,
reading the source that you're getting it from. Like
and,
like
and,
like
and if you read the
verifying
source,
it.
it'll tell you the basement of my uncle's nephew's son.
yes,
And when
bullshit.
did we start listening? And to add to that, when did we start listening? Like, let me. Okay, and I asked this of someone. And I may be repeating myself a bit from when we um did our episode where we were speaking about just the COVID experience, for us personally. But um, where was this energy when polio? Where was this energy when any other virus or disease that you have to be vaccinated for? Like,
Smallpox, the
I'm
flu,
very
hell.
confused, and I'm very confused about. And obviously, anything that I'm saying, Theo, if you have more, because you know more knowledge of something, please correct me. But um for me, I just don't understand how there's this all of a sudden, like, oh well, this wasn't developed, and this was developed, rather, excuse me, in a shorter amount of time. I'm
Which
sorry,
is
but
false.
which is false. Thank you. From
Very
what
false.
that I do fully comprehend. I comprehend that this has been in development for a very long time because coronavirus is a type of virus that already. Am I correct in saying this? That is, it is so while COVID itself is definitely not like the flu, so let's just make sure that we've dispelled that, even though I'm sure there will people that will push back against that.
Of course, I
Um,
found it on the dark web.
but I found on the dark web. Well, the dark web says, but like I'm pretty sure that yes, while a Lysol bottle says destroys types of coronaviruses, we're dealing with a different animal here, from my understanding, right? So why are people acting brand new? Like, oh, okay, well, this hasn't been in development long enough, so I don't know how it's. That's not true. Like, you don't think that virologists and whatnot have been in the labs, like working away, trying to figure out, how to prevent like situations like we're in the world right now. Because if you guys think, and not to get dark really quick about this, but if y'all really think that in maybe our lifetime and our kids and things like that, that no one, that they're never going to experience a pandemic again, think again. Like, this will not be the last time. And
We'll have
maybe
another pandemic. You're correct. And by the way,
100%.
to for your point, that
Yeah.
we discovered the human coronavirus
Yes.
back in dun, 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 1960 fucking 5.
Talk that shit. That's right.
Okay, not 2001, not 2015, not 2020. The blueprint
Blue.
has been there for a very long time, and it says it in its name. It's just the 19th variation.
Mhm.
That is not the first. The blueprint's always been there to create a vaccine and so on and so forth. And unlike any other vaccine in history, from my understanding, so many people were willing to go through the trials. They're still fighting to get folks to do the vaccine for HIV and get humans for that trial because people don't want to take the HIV vaccine. But for COVID, they had too much people volunteer for the human trial for the vaccine. No steps were skipped. There were no like Bill Gates or Trump paid somebody off to skip some steps. All these dark, ugly, weird things we hear.
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy theory, ignorance,
Bullshit.
willful ignorance. And mind you, I've heard a lot of these things sometimes from people who are in the medical field, who are science literate. Again, a conversation that I'm having with the audience right now, or I'm having with my peers, is not the same conversation I have at work and with my coworker and with my work colleagues. Is a more scientific conversation, is a more, in-depth conversation, and we're speaking a different language. You do not go into the population and you don't speak to folks in that language because you lose the audience, you lose the people.
And I have a question. I mean, I've obviously read my, done my appropriate research, my peer reviewed.
Yeah.
Anybody that's listening, okay, all right. Just because people don't know, I don't know if there's certain people that know what peer reviewed is, but anyway, clearly not. But and listen, and not to say, and listen, and I'm not coming from a place of where I'm trying to sound elitist here.
I am.
But Theo will do it for me. Thank
Yeah.
you. But what
Proudly.
but what I will say is, when did we stop believing in science? When did that happen? I'm very confused. Did everybody just like go into a hibernation during quarantine and come out and just go, well, what the hell is it? What in the smithereens is going on here? And just
Well,
come
your
out like
president didn't help to do that. Okay.
Yeah, your president,
not get
Donald
me
J.
started.
Trump. Yes.
Don't get me
Your
started.
president
Yes.
politicized everything.
Yes.
Politicized
Everything.
this disease in a way
Yes.
that I've never
Everything
seen
like
before.
stuff
And he
that has
questioned.
stuff that's never. Let me back that up. Let me not say never, but let me correct that. Things that in the age of, and I'm saying intelligence in quotes because there are definitely some lacking, but like in the age of intelligence, right? We would think, or I think I said that wrong. In the age in the age of information intelligence, I think that was wishful thinking. In the age of information, right? That's for you to seek out the correct information, to read, like I said, to read peer reviewed things, to listen to doctors and listen. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm going to drop the any type of pretense of going, okay, big pharma's on our side and they wouldn't screw us over. I get that, right? Like
Hello.
I get the feeling
Yeah,
and
we
the
know
idea
that.
of that, right? However, this is what one of the things I go by, okay? If you see these rich folk up here taking it, get your behind down to the stop playing games, because if they're taking it, then you're good. Because do you really think some of the richest people in the world would be getting vaccinated if they were going to die? And the thing I was going to ask Theo is this: what do you say to people that have comments about side effects? Because as I understand it, any side effects that you would experience would happen in the first couple of weeks. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. So what would I say to people who tell me what? Finish the.
Who tell you like, well, who ask you rather than what about the side effects, or what about people that think side effects are going to happen a year out or more?
Oh Lord. First of all, if it depends on my mood, I might tell them go fuck yourself.
Same.
To try to match the energy. If they get ignorant, I get ignorant. So
Right.
if
Well,
they go low,
someone asking you that has gone high and not gone low.
yeah. If someone goes low, I try to go lower. That's the Michael Obama way.
Yeah. Oh,
Look at
not
Michelle.
Michael.
That's her brother.
Michael, wait a minute.
Michael
Hold
is
up.
her brother. Michael is her militant brother.
Oh my god! But
No,
yeah,
no. So
what
once
do you
again,
say?
there is no the CDC,
Mhm.
the immunologist, the scientist, the no one has said or is saying that there's these bizarre side effects that are coming later, or these long-term side effects of cancer, of
Mhm.
deformed fetuses, or deformed children being born, of brain cancer, all these bizarre things that I'm hearing. There is no data to back up
To support that.
this thing that you're making up.
Idiotic.
Hmm.
And but well, there once again, there's no data. Well, and I don't. And I'm the type of person that when I'm listening to patients, when I'm listening to people in their stories, I believe them,
Hmm.
and it's my job to empower them with the direction in which they should go, and then they should be going by themselves. So I always let people know, read the CDC website. We sometimes do it together, and I show them, here, look, this is, and I've heard the strangest of things, and I really don't share this,
Hmm.
but I've heard people tell me that I'm men who come and say, well, I'm gonna be this is gonna prevent me from having children. If my girlfriend takes it or my wife take it, they're gonna have a miscarriage, and like that's not correct. I think out of all, like, when women are pregnant, at least like 11% of women have miscarriages,
Right.
and the COVID
It's,
vaccine didn't raise that number to 35 or 40. It's still within 11 or 10% of women have miscarriages when they have children.
Hmm.
it,
Therefore, it's safe to take the COVID vaccine if you are a pregnant woman.
Hmm.
Once again, speak to your medical provider and see which choices are best for you.
those men they shooting blanks, and they don't want to say that, but that's what it is because that's some bullshit. And
Their gun is going pew pew pew.
there you go. It's not blazing at all, not
Oh,
landing
it's
at
not even
all.
boom, boom, boom. It's like dribble, 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 like you
Yes,
dribbling a basketball across the court.
very shrimp and
Uh,
shrimp. But
Once again, the data, if you understand the studying that went into this, and this was all hands on, what was this? All hands on deck?
on deck, yeah.
Everyone focused on this in a way that no time in history, at least not in my lifetime,
Hmm.
has ever been done. Everyone stopped doing what they were doing to focus on COVID. So once again, funds were given for COVID in a way that they were never done
mm-hmm.
before. People had to beg for funds for research, for vaccines. People were just, COVID is hemorrhaging funds.
Hmm.
People were volunteering from 0 to 100, coming to get vaccinated and be part of the the fucking trials in a way that I've never seen and in a way that I've never read before. For that to have been the first response to see where we are today is so sad.
And I'm glad
It
you're
is.
saying this too, because like to me, this gives such a weight to what people are missing. Like they're missing the fact that like people begged for this, people went without sleep for this, people like the amount of energy and time, and I just feel like it's the same way people are running around going, my body, my rights, which don't get me started on that, because where's your same energy for women when they don't want to carry a child?
Or
Hello.
Don't.
not be forced to have to keep a child they can't afford because that's
Bingo.
their right too.
Okay.
So
Or
But
forcing them to keep a
that's
now
child
yes,
that they got through rape.
I'm
yeah.
really
And there
sick
you
of
go. So we don't have
and
to
I'm
go that
really
over.
sick of you know what I'm really sick of? I'm really sick of people will literally come out the side of their face trying to be oppressed. Literally anything. Oh, I don't want to take this vaccine. You're violating my freedom. No, you're not oppressed like you think you are. Go sit down.
Public health
It,
law, once
it,
again, read it, and
it's
being
stupid.
mandated isn't a new thing to America.
It's
Mhm.
not.
It's not.
We've
Thank
gotten the
you.
flu shot. We
Yeah.
get like this is like we've
Let
done
me
this for
give you
years.
let
So
me let me give you some science. Let me give you some knowledge.
Please do.
We've been mandating vaccines since the conception of America.
Mhm.
George Washington raggedy ass, the first president of the United States, mandated the army or the military to
Mhm.
get what was it, the smallpox vaccine
Vaccine.
way back when. Mandate is a way of American life.
Yeah.
We mandate people to get
Well,
vaccinated in order to go into schools, in order to go to colleges. We mandate people to receive treatment for their infectious disease because it's public health law. I know for a fact that if you have TB, tuberculosis, and you test
Mhm.
positive, you are forced to receive treatment whether you like it or not.
Mhm.
Because TB, at one point in time, was running rampant in America
Mhm.
and killing everyone and their mother, literally. Therefore, public health laws were created to protect the public. Your personal right to do something cannot interfere with the public's right to exist. So when
yes.
people are like, oh, my right, my body, and you're violating my right, no, you don't read. And you
Mhm.
obviously have not been existing in America. And a lot of these people call themselves patriotic and don't know a goddamn thing about the land they're standing on.
It's just so funny though too how people call themselves patriotic, but like the way they behave, it's like they hate this country and everything that comes with
And
it,
the people in
It's
it.
it's
and the people in
patriotic
it.
out of convenience. You know, it's
Yep, it's
selective
convenient
patriotism, very
patriotism.
selective.
Yep,
So it's
very
only they only use
selective
it for certain moments.
patriotism. Thank
Well,
And
you.
your selective ass going to be on the unemployment line, not
you know,
collecting that check.
Yeah,
and
because guess
there
what?
you
You've
go.
been
And see, there
okay.
you
You've
go.
been
That's
selected for unemployment because you
yes,
decided not. Okay, that's what you've been
and that's
selected
Because
for.
no, these folks who are choosing to not get vaccinated are not collecting unemployment.
no, they're not because they're choosing to lose their job. Like they're choosing to be at home and not have a home to go to. They're
And
choosing
I'm
this
gonna
because
and I'm
they're
gonna
selfish. Like
absolutely.
they're
And I'm
selfish
gonna
and they're
say
not using
this is
their
sorry, babe.
intelligence.
I'm gonna
They're not.
say this as well, too, and with I mean, foregoing going into too much detail, but there are it's when you're in the military, so that's another crazy thing, right? Is you took an oath to be in the medical field, right? Like depending on what you're right. And these people took an oath to protect our country. And
Amen.
there are things that they are mandated for because they are government property. That's what you're considered. When you're in the military, you are government,
Unfortunate.
you
That
belong,
sounds harsh, but it's the
but
reality, ain't
it's
it?
the reality. Your ass is theirs. Everything you do. If you don't show up to something, if you don't like you are theirs. You belong to them for the time that you're in the military, right? And so if they mandate you to do something, you better do it. So like you don't have a choice.
At
Period.
all.
So
It
what I mean to say by that is, there are vaccines or seemingly preventative things that have been mandated upon people that are in the military and things like that, where they don't have a choice. You know what I mean? Like you have to take it, and there's no like you don't. They'll. I don't even think they'll like discharge you. Like you'll just like you're in big fucking trouble. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no like you're not getting out of that. And so people really take for granted what freedoms really are in a lot of cases, and this is not a point of oppression. I don't know why people that's what's driving me up the wall to like amongst other things about this is not a point of oppression. You are not oppressed. Okay, you are not
Go have a fucking seat.
yes, like stop it, stop sitting here acting like your existence is so terrible because no, actually you're being a selfish sack of shit because you can't rise above yourself and go, wait a minute, this is I'm not the me and my family are not the only one that live in this country. Maybe think about the other people. You are a public health risk. Go get vaccinated and stop playing in our faces.
With your stink ass.
For real. And
ignorance.
another thing, and speaking of stank behind people, some of the same people talking about I'm not getting the vaccine are the same people not washing their behinds. Don't
They're
get
not
me
washing their
started.
hands. Mind you, they don't want vaccine and they also don't want masks. What do you want to do? Kill
You want to be
everybody?
dirty.
They
And
they they,
even
they
and even for religious people, cut it out. And that's why I
For
love the
real.
fact that the Pope agrees to the vaccine. Here in New York, there was a community of people, and if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that did not want to take the measles vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And back, I think 3 years ago, 2 years ago, there was a small measles outbreak in New York.
Yes.
These individuals were yelling and screaming my religious right. And mind you, you are no man is an island.
Yes.
You don't live in an island, and you don't only associate with people in that island, and you're there. These people go out into the greater world, into the public, and interact with the public. And these people did not want to take the vaccine, and they were getting themselves were getting infected with measles, and other members of the public were getting infected with measles. You know these motherfuckers got the vaccine, right?
I know
Because
they did.
public health dictates that you have to do this, or else there will be consequences. Because why would they be giving you and me measles as if this is 1946? Or if this is the 1800s, why the hell would we be worrying about measles? And I think 2015, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
That is not okay. You don't have to like what the public rules are, but you have to follow them. And someone gave a beautiful example. It doesn't matter if you don't like seatbelts. We follow the requirement for a seatbelt. We follow the mandates for the speed limit. We follow the mandate for
But
getting our
do it.
cars registered and all this other stuff. Mandates is a way of American living. Why are we picking and choosing which mandates we want to um, abide by?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the seatbelt and the seatbelt, we do follow them, but a
It's a
good portion of us
mandate.
follow them. A good
It's a
portion of us
mandate,
follows.
but it's a
Uh,
mandate. And
it
if you don't
is.
follow this mandate, you're going to get fined.
Yeah,
You're going to get your
yeah.
license revoked. You're going to get your car taken. And more than likely, you're going to die.
True, that's true, but people don't. But the thing is, people don't care about that because people have died every day from car wrecks. They still don't give. They don't care to wear seatbelts. They will put their life at risk. Like this vaccine, they don't care. They still want to do. They get being selfish and thinking about me, how I feel. But it's not about you because you're risking the public and you're risking your children as well and your family. So for but then not to get it because it's all because they're making it about them. It's ignorant because the science is there. They read, they will understand this is protecting themselves and their family as well, and protecting and helping to make the this disease slowly go away. Because they we don't get vaccinated, if people don't get vaccinated, we won't even get to a point where we can actually be in a semi-normal environment again. Like they should be tired of wearing. I'm tired of wearing damn masks. They should be tired of wearing masks. Like this is not fun. Like I want to be able to burp in peace, not burp in my mask in
Ew.
my you know, and
Not
burp
perfect
in
peace,
peace, you
Jasper.
know.
Can I
Not
tell you though? I will say one thing now that you bring up the mask. One thing I will say that I have mildly enjoyed a bit actually is if I have my shades on and I have a mask on, like if you do something stank, like if you so really give you a nasty look and just not say a word and you have no idea. I
true.
do
That's
enjoy
true.
that. Or if I just don't want to, like if I go into like my husband and I went into Home Goods last week and I had on, and what I did was sometimes I just won't take because I'm just like I'm not trying to deal with these people, so I'll just keep my shades on and my mask, and that way I'm like, you know what, I don't I don't have to be bothered with any of these people. Or if I just want to be like, oh, like, or oh no, those shoes for me.
Oh
Like
shit.
you don't have to like you could express like all this emotion without
In secrecy,
having
you can be
to
Them
shady in
knowing.
but
secrecy.
also it's
Yeah.
equally annoying like Jasper was saying like you can't just do everything out here, so you have to
Mm.
like if I'm standing with someone and someone says something like oh and it's funny and it's like you just have to kind of imagine that they know that you're smiling at them, or oh that was oh thank you for letting me get in stand step in front of you in line, and the smile, so you have to do like a lot of hand signals and
And use your eyeballs and use your eyes.
yeah it's
So trying to
but I
convey the
mean
emotion.
it's not great. Yeah, you have to really like work
It's
extra hard to show emotion.
it's
You know,
not great, but like,
but it's
get
necessary.
the
I mean,
fuck
it's
over it.
important. Yeah,
Absolutely,
I don't like it,
absolutely,
but I do it. I know I have to do
absolutely.
it. I know it's a part of this world right now. I
Hmm.
hate it, but I have to rock with it because I don't have no choice. You have to just we have to just do what we need to do, and if everybody just do what they need to do and follow the instructions that are given by the CDC and these medical professionals,
Hmm.
then this stuff can be managed and we can get to some
Get
sort of
back to
level of normalcy.
normal.
Yes, but
Hmm.
people
But
don't.
you
If we
know,
don't listen, we won't get there. Like,
but you
damn,
know what's also happening? A lot of people are reading. I see that people know how to read. That's great, but a lot of people don't know how to comprehend.
that's the
And I
Hmm.
remember
problem.
when I was younger,
Absolutely.
in order to learn English appropriately and and know that what I'm reading I'm comprehending, I used to take a lot of exams and tests. And
Hmm.
they used to teach you reading comprehension.
Oh
And
Yes.
yeah,
maybe they stopped teaching that, or maybe some people dropped out in elementary school, but a lot of people are
It
not
sounded
getting.
like it.
because
You
they're
can
not.
read whatever you want, but
Hmm.
you obviously are not comprehending what you want. For example, today an article came out saying that Finland
Hmm.
is going to categorize COVID as just a common flu.
Yep,
Yes,
I
I
saw that.
read that.
And if you read the entire article, it will tell you that it is not true.
Hmm.
That this came from a article or a conversation that someone who worked for the NHL or NHI
Hmm.
was saying that they would like to,
Right.
but
Like
not
it's
that the
not
country.
officially been
Yes,
right.
but
But it's
people just took the topic, and I once again, I don't even. They took the title. I don't even think they read the article.
they
And
didn't.
and once again, Finland has treated COVID totally different than America.
Yes.
And just because Finland is doing something doesn't necessarily mean that that is not a one size fits all.
Yes, it doesn't
Yep.
Finland
affect
also
everything.
has universal health care. Finland also shut the country down
Hmm.
in time. Finland also didn't have a prime minister or a president who politicized COVID. For example, in certain parts of Africa, malaria is rampant.
Yeah.
And here in America, malaria is a dead thing. So
Yep.
to say that, oh, well, here in America, we don't have malaria, but so it must be very weird that people still have malaria in Africa makes no sense.
Hmm.
Different strokes for different folks, different infections are
My
rampant
throat.
in certain parts of the world that are not in one and the other. Finland took care of COVID the appropriate way. New
Hmm.
Zealand took care of COVID the appropriate
Oh yeah,
way.
New Zealand was a beast about that.
Come
Like
on,
they
America,
were
this you
good.
guys' president was politicizing this because he wanted to win.
Yeah, he
And
cared about
who's
the lives.
fucked now?
Yeah,
Mhm.
And he helped spread this misinformation about COVID. He helped push this misinformation about scientists and doctors and researchers. He
Isaiah's president.
he did that.
Not Isaiah's president. Listen,
And it's disgusting. And he's the
all of
reason
ours
why
are
I haven't
some.
watched the news since he became president, because the news and the media and everything became something else. And while
Yeah.
people are dying, and I bet his raggedy ass and his whole entire family is vaccinated.
And I don't believe he ever had COVID either. When I don't believe he ever had
Remember
COVID.
that?
Yeah, I don't believe that. I
Mhm.
I never believed it. I'm like, this is some bullshit. There's no
Oh, you
way.
don't. Oh, you don't think
I
he
don't
did.
believe he had. I believe it was all a
Mhm.
ploy. I believe he just did it to save
A
face. He's
show.
trying to win.
A
So
show,
of
yeah.
course,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
I have it so I can be connect
You
with the
know what's?
public and
I'm
seem empathetic. Like I can understand what they're going through. But no,
I'm
you did
glad
not
you
have.
brought that up too, because sorry, just to add to it, because that just gets off. Forget it if I. You heard about what happened at that convention? It was a CPAC convention or something like that, or
It was a
something.
COVID spreader.
And
Yeah,
it was, well, super spreader, but
yeah. Go on.
he um it was a more recent one. He came out and said you should get the vaccine. And he has moved the, well, he is not singularly responsible. He's very responsible, but I want people to also understand this. If you have that mindset now, you were already headed there. You already think and feel that way. You have already been indoctrinated some other way, and this just aligned with the views that were you were already harboring. So that's one thing. But um he came out and said, oh, get the vaccine, like it's good, or whatever way he
And they
said.
booed him.
And they booed him.
Oh
They were like,
Mm.
oh, boo, boo. And I'm just like, wait a minute, but isn't that your little emperor up there? Like, why are you
he
booing
created
him?
a monster, and
You
the
created a
monster got out
monster
of
that's bigger.
control.
Thank
Yeah,
you. That's
like
bigger than you now. Now you're like, oh shit. Yeah, oh shit. You really fucked up, because now do you see what all these people are doing in the name of there are literally in that whole QAnon bullshit, and I don't even care if a QAnon person listen to this, come for me. I'll get
yeah, come for Isaiah.
slide in my DM. I'll give you my address. Pop
If
up
a
over there.
QAnon person
Pop
coming, we
up. I'm gonna pop up. I'm
bang,
telling you,
bang,
I will
bang.
pop off. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. Don't come to my house. But like, I don't got time. Don't do that. But like, but no, I think that it's a monster bigger than himself. You know what I mean? And there's just this entire belief system, this whole QAnon crap, and this is a large part. I bring it up also because this is such a large part of why people believe or have been indoctrinated in this space where they literally, there are some people that straight up think that there are chips in this vaccine. Like,
Oh my
what?
God, yes,
They
I've
think that
heard.
Like,
chips and animals shit.
literally.
They think that chips that they're gonna be chips put in humans' head.
It's
I've
That's what they think.
insane.
I've heard that, and it just makes my blood boil. And I'm talking, and I read something like, people think there's chips so they can track you while you walking
Yeah.
Do you
around
think you're that
with a cell
concerned?
Yes,
phone.
in your body. Yes. Yes.
You're
Humans
walking.
have
Thank
chips.
you. You are walking around with a cell phone. You really don't. If they want to know where you is, they will come for you.
Like, what
You
in
don't
the
think?
GPS,
science
hello.
fiction is happening here?
Yeah. What in the
Ignorance
Matrix?
and foolishness. And
What?
it's the lack of it's a lack of intelligence for me. That's my problem.
Yes.
People need to use hey, God, the creator gave us common sense. He gave everybody common sense. If everybody used it, then we'd be in a much better place, in a much better space. But people don't use their common sense. They use ignorance to justify the lack of common sense they have. And I'm sick of it.
100%.
I'm sick of the lack of intelligence. I'm
You
sick
should
Absolutely.
of it.
hear in these platforms, in these
Yes,
social
Clubhouse.
media platforms, the conversations, the
Mhm.
COVID misinformation. And COVID misinformation, I think going forward, on top of these mandates, should be treated like someone yelling fire in a crowded space.
Mhm.
Fire.
There should be consequences because
Sorry.
people are taking this information and people are dying. And a
Yes.
lot of these people are just saying these provocative things for likes, for views, for
Yes.
attention. And it's reckless. I've seen and I've heard people just be provocative for the sake of being provocative.
Provocative.
Yep.
And
Yes.
if this ain't your line of work, get the fuck out of the lane.
Yes.
Agreed.
It is
It's
detrimental.
Mhm.
It is abusive. It is harmful. It is offensive.
yes.
And I'm just over it. I'm over it. And once again, if in 10 years this vaccine, something's wrong with this vaccine, that is what happens. The FDA has approved a lot of things, but that is just the nature of this game.
Yeah.
Even to take a fucking aspirin, there are side effects and complications to taking aspirin.
Yeah.
And these are the same people that tell you, I don't want to take the vaccine. I don't know what they put in that body. But these are the same people that go there and are eating McDonald's every day.
Okay. Thank
These are
We're
you,
the
not.
same
Isaiah.
people.
Thank you.
We're
Because
not
No,
gonna do.
yep.
We're not gonna give McDonald's too much now. We're gonna leave
no, no, no,
McDonald's
no. But
No,
these
no,
alone.
are the
no,
same
not just
people
McDonald's,
who
but
are
just have it.
smoking cigarettes every day.
Yeah. That's
These
Yeah.
are the same people who are drinking their asses off,
Mm-hmm.
who
They're
are
doing other
harming
things.
their bodies and
Harming their
putting
body.
things into their bodies because we've learned that eating McDonald's every day is detrimental to your body. If they really cared about what was going into their body, they wouldn't be eating all this goddamn processed food and all this color red tasting things that has red food coloring in it that dyes your damn large intestines and all this stuff. So it's not about what it is that they're putting in their bodies. There's something else, and I don't know what it is. It's up to Black Jesus to figure it out. Because Jesus, I'm gonna let you fix it. Because if I fix it, I'm gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah, somebody gonna get knocked out, like for real, because it's just I just don't get this like. And the amount of, and you know what's crazy? The amount of people that have been vaccinated, right? And you're really gonna like look at unvaccinated people, you're really gonna look at other people and be like what's wrong with you? Like, no, what's wrong with you? What branch did you smack your little head on the way down? Like, what are you doing? I just, it's incredibly frustrating. And I just feel like, it's a lot of people only thinking about themselves. For example,
Yes, it
we
is.
wear the masks. For the way I think of it is, and you guys can share what you, but the way I think of it when it comes to a mask is I wear one for other people, for someone else that's walking down the street passing me that is a stranger, that I don't know their health situation, right? So while my health situation might be great, but I don't know what yours is. And it's not my space or my place to endanger your health when I don't even know you. And not just for that, you should be doing it for people that are important to you, that you love and that you care about. Would you want someone else putting your child or your elderly relative in a bad space because they just decide to be selfish and make it a political statement? There are restaurants right now. I read an article the other day about a restaurant in Texas that kicked out two parents and their child because
They wore a mask.
they wore a mask in there.
Uh,
So, okay, so what is this? You're trying to reverse some mess? Because listen, the same people up on these interwebs talking about, like, I've seen on TikTok, because I go scroll through my little TikTok, and I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'll see like a video and it's like something about, oh, okay, well, if you require the vaccine to get into this restaurant, and they'll like put like a little song up that's like, you'll never see me again, and it's just like, that's the point. They don't want you to come in a restaurant if you're not. That's the point. Don't come back.
weirdo.
Like, you're an idiot. Don't come back. They don't want you to come there. Go to your own little. And then people act like the stuff I've read, like, oh well, this is like segregation. First of all, first of all, don't you dare.
Don't go there,
Okay,
bitch.
take that caucasity somewhere else. Don't do that, because
That was coming though.
What happened?
No, I said that was coming though. They was going to try to equate this with racism. They was going to try to that whole
That's
thing.
right. Again,
That's bullshit.
exactly. It's literally that the need to be oppressed, and it's not even the need to be oppressed necessarily. That's what it's being masked as, but it's basically for masked, no pun intended. But like, that's what it's being masked as. It's actually just going, oh no, let's make sure that make sure that we put up this gauze of equalizing everybody. So it's like, hey brother, I'm oppressed too. No,
Yeah,
you're not.
they want to be part of the oppression Olympics.
You want to be and that, you know what that stems from?
Weirdo.
You want to be black so bad. You want to be brown so bad. Why don't you go go lay in that fake tanner some more, okay? And try to act oppressed. Like, shut up. I cannot stand.
Shut up. Nobody likes you. Go away. You don't even go here.
It's ignorant.
You don't even go.
It's ignorant. It's ignorance.
And the thing is, and even like, I'll even go so far as to say, like, I think there's a level of frustration, like, with it for me too, because, and I guess sorry to everyone listening, like, I'm using it as a little bit of a venting board in a sense, because it's like, there's even people that I've known, or that I'm like, really? You feel this way about that? Like, I'm like floored, where I'm like you are incredibly intelligent. What is wrong with you? Like, you, like,
what had happened was
I lost my damn mind.
Like, what little hole did you fall in while we were quarantined? Like, what?
They lost their damn mind.
Lost your mind? Like, what little QAnon rabbit hole did you fall down and bump your little head? Like,
funny.
It is frustrating. It's frustrating, and it's just it's stressful to think about every day, having to think about people who are willingly sitting around and moving around society and are literally like are sabotaging their own selves because they're putting their life at risk, and they don't care, and then putting people's lives at risk who are trying to protect themselves by getting this vaccine, by going and taking the steps. You know what? I'm going to continue to trust in the medical professionals and trust in science. I'm going to do what I need to do as a business to myself and my family to protect myself. And these people who are unwilling to do that look crazy as hell because at the end of the day, then when they die, because I read a lot of stories where people who were anti-vaxxers end up getting COVID and dying, and it's like I don't feel bad for them because you chose to do that. You chose to put your life at risk because you chose to go against something that you knew inside was right.
That's
I
harsh.
don't feel bad. I don't.
That's
And
harsh, but that is the reality.
It
and
is.
that's and I was actually that's I was I'm
That
in
was a choice
direct alignment
they made.
with that is, you know, listen, my personal feeling about this when people, you know, have this idea that, you know, because there are people out there that have this idea that, you know, that the side effects are going to cause, you know, are going to cause core morbidities, right? Or are going to cause
Oh Lord.
um or going to cause you to, right, like cause those, bring those things upon you. And the reality is there are some things that they were already maybe pre-existing. And my feeling, you know, listen, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm going to say that straight across the board. I am not Dr. Crumpton Culhane, but
Oh, that sounds good.
oh, but thank you. But but I am not, at least not yet. But but I am not. So at this point in time, and so, but I will say this: I think that there are things that, there are certain pre-existing conditions and things of that nature, wherein, you know, that it has to do with that, right? Something that's already in existence. I don't believe that it has to do with with side effects that come from the vaccine. I just don't believe that. And, you know, at the risk of sounding cruel about it, if you're not getting vaccinated and you are taking, because here's the other thing, um, there needs to be room in hospitals for other things, for
Yes.
other people that need medical care, that need health care. There needs to be room for those people. If you can do something and you have it at your fingertips to do something to prevent someone else that did not have to die or did not have to wait for a bed to be available, if you
Mm-hmm.
have that at your fingertips to be able to stop that, then why are we as a national community, and in some cases a global community, because we see y'all out there in other countries, there's other people acting the same way, stank way some of these people in the US are acting, because, and we see you as well, but like not everybody, but we see y'all. But like, if you can stop someone else from getting sick, or extend, or think of it from the space of, if you can extend the days of someone else's life, why would you not do everything in your power to do that? Because there are so many people out there who would want one, it just at least one more day with their loved one, and by you
Mm-hmm.
not doing what you need to do for the global community at large, you are prohibiting that. You are the problem. Period.
Period.
But you know
Period.
what? Also, I've just been, I've been going to these social media platforms
Mhm.
because you know it's like having your ears in the streets,
And you
and
and Theo's a celebrity
Danger.
now. And he's a celebrity now. He's a celebrity.
Danger.
I'm
Yeah.
listening. And do you know someone said today that they're trying to inject you with a vaccine because they're trying to make sure that your immune system is weak, so weak that they want you to depend on the government for immunity.
And what school did he
What
go to?
the
No, no,
hell?
it gets better.
Oh, there's
And it,
more. Oh,
yeah, and
Jesus.
that they inject it in the first dose, they weaken your immune system. In the second dose, they give you AIDS so it can completely eradicate your immune system.
Oh, I've heard
and
that.
What
and then the
the
booster shot, it boosts up your immune system, and then you'll continuously have to get boosters, and that's the way the government is going to control you. But not all of us, it is designed because not all of us are supposed to make it. This is the way they want to depopulate the world, so 2% or 5% of us has to die through this process.
what
Wait a
And I
minute.
was like, what in the
So,
name of Black Jesus?
can I just say something real quick? Oh my God. Okay. So you really think if they have so much, let's pose this question, right? Okay, we're just gonna suspend reality for a second, okay? And we're gonna just say if they really want to kill your ass, they would just remove you and they would just snatch your ass up. The CIA or the FBI or whoever or whichever bureau, they would snatch your ass up in the middle of the night, you and your whole family, and people would forget you existed. They would not just stick something in your arm and just go, oh, we're just going to trick them into, no. And
Weirdos.
not thousands and thousands and thousands of people, because at this point, thousands and millions, actually, excuse me, millions of people have taken this vaccine. You really think that's crazy to me? And then if you blow up the whole world, then who are you going to have to govern and control? So that's another conversation. But
It's ignorant.
It makes no,
oh
and
my
it's
God.
scary.
But people
It's
believe that
scary.
shit though. But people on those platforms, people that listen to that being said, believe that bullshit and go by and follow that bullshit and use that bullshit as a reason not to get the vaccine. And that's the problem. That's dangerous.
And
And I'm sick of shit like that. I'm sick of it.
Jasper, you said like and let me pose this to you, like think about how, because we're sitting here, right? We're kind of going, what in the lack of intelligence is this, right? But then I'm thinking to myself, like, for you to come to draw up this entire theory and break down this entire, like, you created this is what the first vaccine does, this is what the second one does, this is what the booster does. I mean,
and people, because yeah, you see, they trying to kill us out here. They
whole
lying.
a whole
They
a
lying.
whole.
They're trying to kill us. They trying to get us, y'all.
That is a deep-seated theory, though. Think about that. I mean, what in the QAnon, but that is some deep-seated, like, that means you have to really have, not only did you just really dive into like a rabbit hole about it, but like that means you had some time. Okay, and listen, I know we all had time during quarantine. We did. We all had time. We had a lot more time, right? But like, you had that kind of time. I was trying to, read books and drink wine, and I've actually never finished that book. Let me do that. And and you know what? Actually, let me organize this. Or I actually didn't have time to do this before, and now I do. And I can do this and that. And you decide that's what you chose. You woke up and chose. You didn't wake up and choose violence. You woke up and chose QAnon. I'd rather the violence. Like,
it just makes my blood boil.
I mean, it's crazy because they literally really created this blueprint in their mind. This is what the government did. This is what the government's plan is. Like,
it's so crazy.
The lack of intelligence. Once again,
Yeah.
I can't with the ignorance. Like, if you're gonna be ignorant, don't get on these platforms. Just stay in your little house to yourself and keep your ignorance to yourself, because you're endangering people's lives when people follow this rhetoric and believe this bullshit and they live by it and then they die because instead of them listening to actual scientists, actual doctors, and read actual news articles that are actually factual, or read the CDC website and go look and research for themselves. They follow this rhetoric, then they sit at home and be anti-vaxxers, and then they die, and then they expect the world to donate to their GoFund accounts and feel empathy. I don't, no ma'am, no ham, no sir. I shall not, because I chose to use wisdom. People don't use wisdom anymore. They don't use it. So I shall not fall for that. I'm not going to feel sorry for someone that chooses to be ignorant, willfully ignorant. It's a choice.
And preach.
It's really sad, and I just feel like, like, it's sad, but it's infuriating, but it's also just, like, I really wish that people didn't have to be convinced to be decent and humane to other people. I really, really wish that, most of all.
Yes.
And today's podcast is brought to you by Get Your Goddamn Vaccine.
Yes.
No, but really, get your vaccine. We're not playing with you.
Please get your vaccine. And if you have any questions, you can send them to Isaiah, and Isaiah will forward them to his president, Donald J. Trump.
Oh, shit.
Okay. You know, listen, just so all of our listeners are clear. I don't know if you at this point, if you've been listening to us at this point, then you through to this episode,
Yeah, you got a problem.
then you know, yeah, that too. But you know we be playing and y'all show playing with that Mr. whatever his. I'm not even gonna say his name because I don't need to.
Yeah, we want it was the that I said we said enough on this damn thing.
Oh
Go
my
get your
god.
vaccines, people. Get your
Yes,
vaccines.
please
Do your
get your
research.
vaccines,
Do
do
your
your
research.
research, and do the
Read.
right research.
Yes, the right research. Listen to your
Please.
medical professionals. Listen to your doctors. Listen to the scientists. Listen to people who have knowledge, who are certified and credited to give you this advice. Listen.
Okay, don't do that because I don't want to get sued because I am not a doctor. So like,
I said, well, the King of Shade, Jasper, say it to you. Listen to your doctors. Listen to your
oh,
medical
listen to your
professionals.
yes. Okay,
Yes,
I thought
and
you said we are. Oh Lord.
no, I
No,
said,
he said
listen.
listen.
Yeah,
Oh
listen.
my god.
Yes, listen to them. They are the ones that are
Yes,
going to
please
give you the
listen.
right
Yeah,
advice and guide you to the right direction
damn right.
to
Don't even
save your
listen to
life.
me. I am not your medical provider.
No,
Yes.
see, your
Listen
medical
to
provider.
your own medical
Your
provider.
yeah.
Listen to your own doctor. Listen to your own.
Yes,
The
your
only thing
own.
don't listen to is to the own voice inside your head.
And don't listen to
Yes.
homegirl or homeboy down the street. They think they know. They think they are a doctor.
And don't
Okay?
listen to your cousin's mama's cousin's father. Don't.
Yeah.
Please
Because
don't.
no.
Please don't
Unless
listen
he
to
is a
Shaniqua
medical
and them.
professional, then in
Yes,
that
but
case,
But you know, that's the danger about medical profession. Again, you are not people's individual doctor because
that's true.
individual
that's
people,
true.
everyone has individual needs.
Very
So to
true.
give a consultation to someone or to give them medical advice is also unethical. People, hint, hint.
Absolutely.
It is.
So,
Mhm.
because
But
I don't know what your personal needs are, you're not a patient of mine. A lawyer does not go around giving legal advice to every person that asks them because they're not their client. They're not their patient.
that's true.
So everybody has their own medical provider. If not, please get access to a medical provider. That's why America needs to have universal health care, but that's another topic.
Yes,
Mhm.
and if you are in a space where our medical providers are talking, it's okay to listen, but
Yes.
go to your own personal one because, like Theo said, you may have health conditions or things that are going on with you that they are privy to and know your medical history. They can give you the correct advice and let you know what you can and what you can and can't do or what they can advise you to take. So make sure that you listen if you are in those spaces, but go to your own personal one. If you don't have one, then find you one or go to the correct sources to help get you a medical provider. 'Cause we know some of y'all probably can't or may not have access to it. Because right now we're in a country where we need more medical access to more medical facilities and more medical providers. We need people who can afford it. So we know some of y'all may not be able to afford it, but if you can, go to your primary care physician. If you don't have one, go to a clinic. They have free clinics. Find
Stop
someone.
going to these social
Yes,
media apps
because they're
for
not doctors.
medical advice.
Please don't. That's
You
deadly.
know,
That's deadly.
Yeah,
vaccine,
that's dangerous.
unvaccinated lives matter.
Yes. Yes.
Get vaccinated. Stop with the COVID misinformation.
Yes.
Listen, read, comprehend, and let's do better.
Let's do the work, y'all. Let's do the work. We
Do
can
the
get through
work.
this.
We
We can
Until
are.
get
next
through
time,
this.
everybody.
Black power.
Oh my
Oh,
god. Get vaccinated.
bye.